Alright, I'm calling it my Southern India series because I'm on a beautiful, beautiful Southern Indian canal boat and we are touring the backwaters of Kerala. So I'm doing a little series. I've had a 3-week tour around India. I'm adoring it. So I'm doing a series on some of the beginners' mistakes that people make in property. So one of the clear ones, and I bet every mortgage broker watching will be like, oh my God, thank God you did a video on this, is the beginner's mistake that people make so often is they underestimate how fast, or how slow, I should say, it takes to refinance a property. And why is that important? Cash flow. Your cash flow is your lifeblood as a property developer. All of us run out of cash flow at some point. Most of us don't. I mean, I've done a couple of projects that weren't profitable because it's just the numbers. You know, we've done over 200 projects, but mainly my problems have always been cash flow, as have every other property investor I've ever met that's been successful. And so if you underestimate how fast or how slow your money comes back in, you're going to give yourself serious cash flow problems. Look at these guys. Hey. So let's talk about how fast or how slow your mortgage application to refinance will be. Right, you contact your mortgage broker. They say, brilliant, Suze, send me an up-to-date spreadsheet of your property portfolio. So number one, you need an up-to-date spreadsheet of your property portfolio in advance, don't you? Because otherwise you're going to spend a few days doing it. So have that ready. Yes, no problem, Steve, you say, and you mail it off. Great. And then they come back and they ask numerous questions, quite correctly, because they want to make sure that the application is exactly how it should be. Then they want, either they or the mortgage company, but usually the broker, if they're very good, they get everything prepared in advance. Then they want a copy of your bank statements, sometimes an entire year. So, number two, what do you need to do? Every time a paper bank statement comes in, you must remain having paper bank statements. You've got to scan them up to your cloud-based system, whatever you use. We use Google Drive, so that you've got them ready to send in. Because otherwise you're going to have to go to the bank, get them printed off, and then get them certified on every single page and stamped, or they're not accepted by the mortgage company. Number three, you've got to identify what your money's for. Well, buying another property or refurbishment or repairs or whatever. Number four, you need to make sure with your mortgage broker that your rental calculation will cover the kind of money that you're wanting to refinance it to. So make sure that's done well in advance. That should be your mortgage broker's job. Number five, you need to supply your documentation to show how much money the property is bringing in. So obviously your single let or your shared property contracts. So again, you've got to make sure that they're exactly legally correct and you haven't made mistakes in them. Number six, going back to bank statements, you must have a look at my video with bank statements. It's the most important advice I've ever given you guys. Make sure that your rent income goes to a separate bank account than any other bank account. Why? For these kind of mortgaging repurposes, because highly likely they'll want to see that that property's made money and they want to see the proof. And if it's confused with like 50 million other items, it's really difficult for the mortgage company to see. If it's not, if it's just pure bank statements for all of your properties and you can identify, oh well, that's that street, that, you know, that's that one, it's quite easy for them to understand, and it gives a great impression that you're very organised. Oh, I think we're 7 or 8 now, aren't we? Okay, then pay for the survey. Do it fast. Phone your broker and say, I need to pay. Pay for the survey. Number 8, go out and meet the surveyor. And you will, won't you, because you watch my videos. I've done a whole paper exercise of identifying a huge number of other properties, 45 properties that are on the market for sale or have sold already. So maybe 20, and then you've had 5 estate agents already come to visit your property and give you a written letter of valuation. So basically you're triangulating the value of the property and you're doing the job for the surveyor for them, but you're doing it very humbly and respectfully. And then what you're also going to do is you're going to show them the pre and post pictures, and you're also going to show them how much money you spent on renovating the property. All of this takes time, and if you have not prepared all of this information in advance, you're going to be the bottleneck. So let's go back to timescale, because those are my pieces of advice to make this thing happen. You apply for you apply to your broker. I don't know, maybe you take a week to get the documentation to the person. Maybe they're running a backlog because they're running crazy busy. It then goes into the mortgage company, and then and then the survey happens. Maybe that takes 2 weeks before your survey is paid for and booked. Your survey happens, maybe it takes 4, so there's a week, there's 2 weeks for the mortgage broker, there's 2 weeks for the survey, there's another week for the survey to come back, There's so 4 weeks. There's another week minimum for your mortgage company to process the survey. There's 5 weeks. They then get in touch with your solicitor, or they appoint a solicitor that you then need to complete the client care package. So again, if you forget to do that, you're creating problems. So let's say it's a week for you to the client care package. There's 6 weeks. They then spend, well, I don't know, 2 weeks assessing the contract, the title, etc. There's 8 weeks. There may be special conditions on the lending. Do you see? I don't want to complicate things. I'm just telling you how it is so that you can avoid as much as possible and get everything ready. So there's maybe 9 weeks. So you're minimum 2.5, 3 months drawdown. And people get really grumpy with mortgage companies, and to be honest, I probably do too. But I think it's important that you understand the process and understand the timescale, and make sure that you're never the bottleneck, so that other people are always the bottleneck, so that, you know, politely you can chase them and then you can close down the bottleneck. You know, we've turned around stuff within 3 or 4 or 5 weeks time, but that's quite rare. I usually think kind of a 10-week process from start to finish, and that's kind of going relatively smooth. So if that's a beginner's mistake that people make, they think they're going to get their money within a couple of weeks, and it's just not going to happen. And of course then they've promised the money back out to go buy another property. So put about 10 to 12 weeks minimum really for refinancing a property before you go again, and then work crazy hard to make sure it's not 10 to 12 weeks. Hope that's helpful. Do me a favour, subscribe to our YouTube videos. Buttons somewhere down below. There's tons of them for you guys. Second thing is, go onto our website, thegoodpropertycompany.co.uk. We do fantastic, very, very, very high quality education materials for you guys. We've got packs, we've got workshops, we've got mentoring programs, and have a look at all of those. So buy to sell, buy to keep, raising finance, letting, service accommodation, business planning, all of that. And then thirdly, we're not going to do it forever, are offering live workshops. We almost always sell out weeks or months in advance, and we only do a small number every year. So get yourself booked onto our live workshops, either by going on Eventbrite or looking through our website or phoning up our team. But don't wait, because then you'll be on a waiting list and it might be 6 months before that workshop comes around again. Hope that's helpful. Good luck on property. See you soon. Bye.